Hi, hello, good afternoon, everyone. I welcome you all to the series of aptitude, and today our this is our day one of our aptitude class. In this series of aptitude, basically, I will be teaching you how to attempt the questions of aptitude. Okay, the very first thing that you should know is aptitude is not a subject that you are gonna learn. Okay, it is nothing that I am here to teach you something. Aptitude is something you should already know. Okay, and you have to process that knowledge to solve the question. That's it. And why aptitude is necessary? Okay, first, it is very necessary because it is a part of your subject, therefore you are here to study that. And second, it is necessary because this will help you to develop a logical brain. Okay, that is the most important thing about this subject. Okay, so let us begin with it. Let me first tell you that what are the prerequisites of this chapter, okay, or what are the prerequisites of this series. So for the series of aptitude, you should know only about 3 or 4 things. Okay, that is addition, subtraction, division, and multiplication. If you know these 4 things, then definitely rest of the things will be from my side. I will be teaching you and I will be helping you of how to attempt them. Okay, so without wasting the further time, let us start the series. So today's topic of discussion is percentage. Okay, first of all, hi, my name is Anubhav, and let us begin the chapter of this percentage. Okay, so as I told you, I will not be telling you a lot of theory. Okay, I will be just telling you how to attempt this question. Okay, so what is percentage? That's not my stuff. Okay, simply understand why do we need percentage. Basically, if you are given a scenario, let's say you are a person A and I am a person B. Okay, you gave an exam of, let's say, 700 marks. Of that 700 marks of full marks, you have scored about, let's say, 630 number. Okay, and I have also given an exam, and of that exam, of 100, I have scored around 90 marks. Okay, now there are the people in our society who will be judging us, okay, that you are smart or I am smart. Definitely you guys are smart, but still, how to compare? Okay, like there must be a criteria for comparison. Definitely that is also over here. How? You can see that when I have scored 90 of 100, and when you have given the test, you have scored 630 of 700. So there is not a proportionate value to make a comparison. Whenever comparison take place, there is a basic rule that compare between the same things. If they are not same, bring them to the same position and then compare. Right? In the same way, you have given 700 marks exam, I have given 100 marks exam. So let us take a value that will be common for both of them, and that will help you to assess. That is the percentage. Percentage is that algebraic phenomena that will help us to compare two irrational things, bringing them to a common point. Okay, so how to calculate percentage? First, whatever you want to get, you convert that in fraction. What is fraction? If you remember, anything in the form of p by q where q is not equal to 0, that is known as fraction. So convert anything into fraction and then multiply the fraction by 100 into 100. You will get percentage. That is the only thing you need to know. Okay, so how to get percentage? First, whatever things are given to you, convert them into fraction, multiply the fraction by 100, you will get the value of your percentage. That's it. Okay, now let's say you want to get a percentage of something, so I can't discuss it in theory form. Let us do the question, and with question I will be explaining you that what you have to think. Okay, let me just write over how to convert percentage into, okay, first how to convert fraction into percentage. So fraction multiplied by 100 gives me the percentage value. Okay, and how to convert a percentage into fraction? Well, whatever percent is given to you, just divide it by 100, you will get the fraction. That's it. That's simply it. And yeah, there is a representation of percentage. We represent percentage by a symbol this. Okay, this is the symbol for percentage. Okay, now let us go to the basic concept of this. So that was the basic concept of how to convert. One more thing, question may be asked like how much marks you scored. Let me write it here. How much marks is scored. Okay, so if I want to calculate how much percentage of marks has been scored, then I will first write the fraction. Numerator side you will write the marks obtained. Marks obtained will be on the numerator side. And what about the denominator? Of course, full marks. Okay, this is my fraction, convert in percentage by multiply by 100. That's it. How to calculate a change? If you want to calculate the percentage change of something, so write the value of change in numerator. Okay, write the full value in denominator, and then multiply it by 100. That's it. Let us do the question and find our values. Okay, so let's start with this question. Question says the weight of Vaibhav 1 year ago. Vaibhav 1 year ago was 50 kg. Okay, it is said that his weight has increased to 65 kg. 1 year ago it was 50 kg. Now after 1 year, that is in present age, his weight is 65 kg. You have to calculate the percentage change. Percentage change in weight. So percentage change in weight, first get the fraction. How I will get the fraction? I will write the change divided by initial value. Remember, always take the initial value. Make it a star point somewhere and write I have to always take the initial value, the value that was earlier. Okay, the value that was mentioned earlier is the initial value and I have to take that. Simple. Okay, this is the fraction, multiplied by 100, you will get the percentage. So what is the change? Now it is 65, earlier it was 50. And what is the initial value? Of course, initial value is 50 kg. So 50 multiplied by 100. That is 15 by 50 into 100. That is 30. Hence, what is the percentage change? Percentage change is 30%. After getting the value of percentage, never forget to write the symbol of percent. Okay, is that clear? Okay, hope so. I hope guys you are getting the vibe of the chapter. Okay, well, this chapter is not too tough, but just get the questions. Okay, question says Ankit obtained 400 out of 500 and Somesh obtained 720 out of 900. Whose performance better? I want to compare the performance. So first I will get the percentage of marks obtained. Percent of marks obtained. Okay, you know that how to do. You will write for Ankit, it will be 400 by 500 into 100. Okay, and for Somesh it will be 720 by 900 into 100. Okay, you get this 9, you get this 5. 5 into 400, 80. He got 80%. It is 80 again. He also got 80%. That means both have performed equally better in exam. Both have performed to their best in the examination. Okay, 80% and 80%. I hope this is clear. Okay guys, sounds good. So let's go to the next part. Salary of Ritika per month is rupees 20,000 per month, whereas salary of Shefali is rupees 30,000 per month. Okay, what is the percentage of Ritika to that of Shefali? Good question. I want to get the percentage of Ritika to that of Shefali. So to that means it will be in denominator. So Ritika will be in numerator, Shefali will be in denominator, and I want to get the percentage, therefore I will multiply by 100. Simple. That means it will be 20,000 by 30,000 into 100. That is 200 by 3, which is almost 67%. If you solve this, you will get 66.66666 bar basically. Okay, that is almost equal to 67%. Okay, is that clear? Okay, questions are damn simple in this case. Okay, let us use this question. Salary of Ritika is 20,000 per month. Okay, whereas salary of Shefali is 30,000 per month. I know that. Shefali is how much percent of Ritika? Get that? How much percent of Ritika? More. Okay, one more thing, more. That means I want to get the comparison over here. So how to calculate more percentage? First I will write how much more did she get? How much more did she get? Okay, then that of Ritika. I said then that, it means it will be in numerator. So Ritika will be in numerator into 100. Okay, that means how much more she have got? So 30,000 minus 20,000 by Ritika how much? 20,000 into 100. Solve this, you will get 10,000 by 20,000 into 100. Okay, 50. That means Shefali is earning 50% more than Ritika. Shefali is earning how much? She is earning 50% more than Ritika. Okay, I hope you got this. Okay, come to the next question. I hope these three questions that I have discussed are all clear to you. Okay, basically I'm discussing only those questions which are relevant for you. Okay, so these questions are the only one. Hear whatever I'm saying carefully, and you will understand everything over here. Okay. Okay. Let us go to this question. This question sounds good. A student has got 40% marks in the examination. Okay. Suppose he gets 30 marks. Okay. Suppose he gets 30 marks and fails by 30 marks. Okay. What is the maximum marks in the examination? That's a great question. What is the question asking to me? Question is asking that I have got 40%. Okay. Now I have of 40%, I have got how much? I have got 30 marks. Okay. That means basically 30 marks. Let's say my full score. Full score is how much? Full score is, let's say, X. So if I am scoring 30 of X, okay, that means how much do I am getting? I am getting around a marks of 30 for the value of 40%. Okay. So the full marks that I have to get is X. Okay. Now, how much I have got? I have got 30 marks, and by how much am I failed? I am failed by 30 marks. If I would now I am failed because I have got 30%. But if I have scored 30 more marks, then I would be passed. And what is the passing criteria? It is said that passing criteria is 40% to pass the exam. He has to get only 40% to pass the examination. So can I say that 30 plus 30, that is 60? 60 is the passing mark. Of X, if I get 60, then that means I am getting the 40%, which is the passing criteria. I hope you are getting this. So what can I say? I can say 60 by X is equal to 40%. Basically, this is percentage and this is the fraction. To how to convert the fraction into percentage? Multiplied by 100. Okay, that means it will be X is equal to 60 into 100 by 40, 2 by 3, 50. That means X is equal to 150. So the total marks in examination is 150 marks. Okay, I'm repeating it again. Hear this carefully. Question says that a student has to get 40% to pass in an examination. Okay. Now how much he has got? He has got 30, and now he is failed by 30 marks. So that means what? That means if he would have scored 30 more number, he would have passed. The passing criteria is 40. Therefore, 60 number is the passing criteria, which is equal to 40% of the total marks. Okay. I hope this is clear. Okay, sounds good. Let us go to this question. Okay. Question says, in an exam, A has scored 20 more than B. A has scored how much? A has scored 20 more than B. That means the marks of A is how much? Marks of B plus 20. Right? If B have scored 5% less marks than A. B has scored how much? 5% less than marks of A. Then how much B has scored? So basically what the thing is saying? Thing is saying me that B has scored 5% less, okay, than that of A. That is the question over here. Okay, so how will I do this? I have to calculate what is the marks of B. So I can write that how much he has scored less. So he has scored less how much? 20 marks less. So 20 divided by. Now what is the judging criteria? What is the numerator over here? So he has scored 5% less than of A. I have said whenever you get the word than, that means it is in the denominator. So what is the marks of A? Marks of A is B plus 20. So 20 divided by B plus 20 into 100 is equal to how much? That is equal to 5 according to question. 100 will go down. Okay, that is the value 1. So I will say 400 is equal to B plus 20, that is equal to B is equal to 380 marks. So how much marks have B got? B have got 380 marks according to this question. I hope this is clear to you. Okay. I hope this question is clear. So such kinds of question are only being asked. Okay, so it is very important for us to just proceed with it. Okay. Okay, now let us go to the actual question. Okay, more questions are over there. Next question. Okay, I think this question should be a homework for you. Okay, this is a homework question. Please practice this. Okay, let us discuss this question. Question says, if 5 by 12 of 2 by 5 of 20% of a number is 252, then what is the number? Remember, of is equal to multiplication. Whenever you are given the word of, you have to multiply. So 5 by 12 of 2 by 5 of 20% of a number. Let's say that the number is x. The number is what? The number is x. So 20% of a number. 20% means basically it is a 20%. How to convert percentage fraction? Because this is the fraction series now. So divided by 100 into x is equal to 252. Now the question is in front of you. You have to get the value of x. This is a homework question. Okay, I hope that is clear. Okay, this question is already being done. So, okay, let us check this one. Okay, this is a good question. Question says, if the price of petrol is increased by 20%, okay, what should the consumption be decreased by the customer if the expenditure on the petrol be unchanged? Let us say earlier the rate of petrol was let's say x, and consumption is equal to what? Consumption is equal to y. Let us say. So can you tell me what is the expenditure of petrol? Tell me what is the expenditure of petrol in this case? Well, that case expenditure is equal to x into y. Okay, let's say the rate of petrol is 100 and I have used around 10 liters. So what is my monthly expenditure? That is 1000. 100 into 10,000. So what is the monthly expenditure over here? That is x into y. This is the previous case. Now the new case. What is the new case over here? The new rate of petrol is equal to how much? That is given as it is increased by 20%. Increased by 20% means it is x plus 20% of x, that is 20 by 100 x. Are you getting this? What I'm trying to convince you that 20%. Okay, basically this was 20% of x. Now to convert percentage into fraction, I'm just multiplying with 100. Okay, yeah. So what you are getting, that how I have calculated the new value, because it is telling increased by 20%. Increased by 20% means earlier it was let's say 100 rupees. Now it is increased by 20%. So that means 100 plus 20 of 100. In the same way, x plus 20 by 100 of x. Okay, that gives me a value of 120x by 100. That is basically 6 by 5x. So what is the new rate of petrol? The new rate of petrol is 6 by 5x. So basically, what is the consumption value? Let us say that the new consumption is z. Okay, you can call this as z. So the new consumption is what? The new consumption is z. Okay. Now since the new consumption is g, can I say that the new expenditure is what? New expenditure is equal to 6 by 5x into z. Exactly. The question clearly says that the expenditure is constant. Expenditure is the same. You cannot compromise with that. So if the expenditure is same, can I say x into y is equal to 6 by x by 5 into z? Okay, you cut the value, you get that the value of z is equal to 5 by 6 into y. 5 by 6 into y. So by how much percentage is my consumption decreases? By how much percentage is my consumption getting decreased? So how to calculate that? Can I say here that percentage change of consumption is equal to what is being used earlier minus what is the new rate divided by the earlier. I have told, always take the initial value. Here the initial value will be y because I am comparing the expenditure over here. So therefore I can say it is 5 by 6 y minus, y minus 5 by 6 y divided by y into 100. That is 6 minus 5y by 6 divided by y into 100. Y gets cancelled. I get the value 1 by 6 into 100. Basically this is 16.66, or you can call 67%. So almost you have to decrease your expenditure by 16%. Okay, if earlier you were using, let's say, 10 liter petrol, then now you have to use around almost 8.5 liters. Okay, like around more than half liters. Okay, I hope this is clear. Okay, that sounds good. Okay, let us go to the next part of the question. I hope this is clear. Okay, guys. Okay. The next question is, two numbers x and y are respectively 20% and 20% less than the third number z. So basically I'm having x, y and z. Okay. By what percentage is the number less than that of x? Good. Okay. Question says we're having two numbers. Okay. X, y and z. Okay. Here it is said that x is 20% less than the third number z. So x is equal to z minus 20% of z, right? Okay. And what about y? It is said that y is equal to 28% less than z. So z minus 28% of z. Okay, and z is z itself. Okay, now I have to calculate by how much is the number less than y. Basically it is talking about y. By how much is the number y less than x. Okay, so I have to calculate the value of x, y, and then I can get it. Okay, can I say y will be equal to how much? Y will be equal to z minus 20 by 100 of z. That gives me around 80 by 100 z. 4 by 5 z. Do this calculation yourself. 4 by 5 z. And what is this? This is almost equal to this will be almost equal to 72 by 100 z. That is basically your 36 by 50, 18 by 25. Okay, 18 by 25 times of z. This is the value of x, this is the value of y. You have to calculate percentage of y less than x. So this is now homework for you. I have already told such kinds of question earlier. Okay guys, I hope these questions are clear. Okay, get to this one. Okay, this is a good question and we need to discuss this. Question says, a pie chart gives the expenditure of 5 different items A, B, C, D, E in our household. Okay, you are given the value. B is 90 degree, C is 50 degree, D is 45 degree, and E is given as 75 degree. You have to calculate what is the percentage of A. Okay, so to calculate the percentage of A, should I know the value of A? Okay, a pie chart is having how much angle? You know that a pie chart is having an angle of 360. Out of this much are occupied. So whatever is the remaining thing, that is being of A. So how can I calculate A? A is equal to 360 minus sum of all. Sum of 90, 50, 45 and 75. That is almost equal to 360 minus okay, let's say whatever is the value, we don't care for it. So basically I will get the value over here. Okay, so once I get the value, it will be easy for me. Okay, let's say I get the value of something. Now I have to calculate the percentage. You can easily calculate. Now to calculate the value of percentage, you should know the value of that. So I know the value of A. That will be numerator. What will be in denominator? I need to calculate of total expenditure now. Here total expenditure was 360 degree. Therefore denominator will be 360. That will be the fraction. Convert this fraction into percentage. Okay, I hope this is clear to you. Okay, let us go to the next part. Okay, question says, if the price of article is 100, if the price of the article is increased by 20% and then by 10%, what is the final price? Okay, so earlier the price was 100, now it is being increased by 20%. So 20% of what? 20% of 100, the 20% of the earlier value. So the new price is equal to what? It is 100 plus 20 by 100 into 100. This gives me a value of 120. So the new price is 120. When it was 120, you have again increased the price by 10%. So you will do 120 plus 10% of 100. No, 10% of this value, that is 120. This question tells you that whenever something is increased, you write 20. Let's say it was increased 20%. So 20% of exactly previous value, that is 100. When it is increased by 10%, to 10% of exactly previous value, that is 120. You cannot take 10% of 100. Okay, that is 10% of 120. So 120 plus 10 by 100 into 120. Okay, that is almost 132. So the new price is almost 132. Okay, I hope this is clear to you. Okay, So whenever you get this kinds of question, please keep your brain focused that you have to do it this way. Okay, fine. This is your homework question. Okay, you have to calculate the change in price. Okay, I think that will be a challenge for you. This is the homework. Okay, this is the question. Okay, well, we will come to this question after discussing a while. Okay, so basically these are the only types of question that we are gonna discuss. Okay, so let us do this one. Okay, the question says, when 70% of a number x is added to another number y, the sum becomes 165 of the value of y. Okay, when 60% of a number is added to another number z, the sum becomes 165% of the value of z. Now you have to tell what is the relation over here. Okay, I will just give you the equation, you have to compare it your own. Okay, so question is telling, when 70% of a number x is added to another number y, that means y plus 70% of x is equal to how much? That is equal to 165 of the value of y. That is 165% of y. Solve this. Okay, you will get y plus 70 by 100 into x is equal to 165 by y into 100. Okay, take this side, you will subtract it, you will get the relation between x and y. Okay, it will be something like it is equal to 53 and it is equal to 14. Okay, so it is equal to like 14x is equal to 52y, that is almost 3 times. So x is equal to 3 times of y. In the same way, get the relation between x and z. When you get the relation between x and z, you will definitely be able to compare all of this. Okay, so this is again your homework. Okay, I know you think that I'm giving you a lot of homework, but yeah, just use your own brain as well. Okay, this is a great question again, guys. Question says, two candidates x and y contested an election. Okay, 80% of voters cast their vote. Let's say that the total number of voters in the voter list were, let's say, A. So of the total number of people, only 80% have voted. If you are aware of the national scenario in our nation as well, whenever election commission is taking any sort of election, 100% votes are never cast. Okay, some people are there who are not available to make the votes, so here only 80% has voted. Okay, of that 80%, there was no nota. If you know about nota means I do not want, I am not supporting any party. Okay, I am having neutral vote, so that is nota. Okay, X got 55% of the vote and won by 140 votes. So can I say that 56% of the cast vote is itself 80% of this? Okay, let me give. So can I say total votes? So total votes is equal to 80% of total people, 80% of A. So can I say 80 by 100A? That is basically 4 by 5A. So of 4 by 5A, X has got 56%. So 56% of 4 by 5A, that is equal to okay, and 1 by 140 votes. Okay, so this is the percentage of votes that person X has got. How much percent Y will got? So person Y, if 56% is occupied by person X, so person Y will get 44% of 4 by 5A. So when you subtract both of them, when you subtract X and Y vote, okay, you get the values 1440. Okay, I'm repeating this again. If X is getting 56% of the cast vote, okay, then what about the remaining 44%? The remaining 44% will be used by person Y. Okay, now let's say he has got 100 vote, he has got almost, let's say, 20 vote. So by how much did the person X win? The person win by 80 votes. In the similar way, the difference between both of them is given as 40 votes, 1440 votes. Okay, so you will write that 56 by 100 into 4 by 5A is equal to 44 by 100 into 4 by 5A, that is equal to 1440. Now this question is a cakewalk for you. Okay, just do this. Okay, we are just left with a few more questions. Okay, this is a homework question. Okay, you are given that the difference. I'm selling one thing and let's say us another thing on the same time, okay, and I got 10% profit in one and 10% loss in one. Okay, so okay, let me give you this. Let's say I am having two goats and the value of that goat is A. Okay, so by selling this I get 10% profit. That means at once I am getting A plus 10% of A plus 10% of A, that is basically 11A by 10. And when I have sold another one, I have got a loss of 10%. So I will write A minus 10% of A. Okay, that is equal to 9 by 10A. Okay, so how much loss or how much profit do I have made? That is the question. Okay, just compare it and you will get your values. Okay, now this question. Okay, this question I will help you. Okay, question says that there are 3 lakh people and out of which 18 lakh people are male. Okay, so how many females are left? So female will be equal to 1,20,000. Okay, 1,20,000 are female. 50% of the population is literate. 50% of the population is literate. 50% of the population is literate people are almost 50% of 3 lakh. That is almost 1.5 lakh. Almost 1.5 lakh people are literate. 70% of the male are literate. So what is the 70% of male? So 70% of 1,80,000. So if you just get this, you get 70 by 100 into this much. So that will give you a value of 8 sevens are 56 in 5 1 2. Okay, so 1,26,000 males are literate and total literates were 1,50,000. So how many females are literate? So female literate are 1,50,000 minus 1,26,000. That gives me a value of 24,000. Can you guess? Of 1,20,000 females present in the population, only 24,000 females are literate. Well, that is so true about present scenario as well. Therefore, it is being promoted that females should be educated. So I can say how many females are literate. What is the percentage of female literate? So that will be 24,000 by 1,20,000 into 100. 5 times 20. Almost 20%. Just 20% of the population. However, real numbers are far away from this, but that is not completely 100%. Okay. Okay, this again is a homework question, exactly like the previous question. Okay. Okay. Okay, this question is also like the previous one. Attempt this. Okay. Now let us go to this last question. Okay. In a competitive exam, consists of 60% of male and 40% of the female. 70% men and 75% women cleared the qualifying mark and entered the final test, where 80% men and 75% female were successful. Remember, this 80 and 75 were not of the initial value. If the initial value was A, you cannot take 80% of it, because what has happened? Already 60 and 40 has been cleared off. 70 and 75 has been cleared off. Okay. Using the same scenario, how will I explain this question? So if total candidates appearing were A, can I say men is equal to 60% of A, that is 3 by 5A, and female will be 2 by 5A. Of that 3 by 5A, 70% have qualified. So can I say 70% of 3 by 5A, that is 70 by 100 into 3 by 5A. Okay, they have qualified, men. And about female, so about women it will be 75% women have cleared. So 75 by 100 into 2 by 5A. Sounds good? Okay. Now, of this, in the final marks, in the final examination, the final test, 80% men have qualified. So 80% of A? No. 80% of 3 by 5A? No. 80% of the previous one. Exactly previous. Mind this, okay? So 80% of 70 by 100 into 3 by 5A. That gives me an approximate value 80 by 100 into 70 by 100 into 3 by 5. That is the qualification of men. And what is the qualification of women? 75% again. 75% of 75 by 100 into 2 by 5A, which is almost equal to, you can say 75 by 100 into 75 by 100 into 2 by 5A. Okay. So this is the value that is given to you guys. Now you have to tell that the success rate of women is greater. Overall success rate is 50%. Both men and more men have cleared the examination than women, or both A and B. Okay. Now that is up to you. Okay. Let me give you the, you have to just calculate the final value. So let us keep this up as a challenging question. Okay. With this guys, the chapter of percentage is up to the end. Thank you for hearing me and thank you for being the session to this end. Okay. If you are having any doubt, please let me know in the comment section below. Okay. We will be addressing your doubts, and that's it for now. Okay. Thank you. Have a great day.